Did you know that in Resident Evil 4 Remake, if you're playing New Game, you won't find the merchant until Chapter 2, but we obviously already knew that, duh. However, things get a lot different in New Game Plus, as instead of having to wait until Chapter 2, he'll be available in Chapter 1 right after Leon jumps out of the window. He's very easy to miss, and you'll run right past him if you don't even know he's there, but right when Leon jumps out of the window, if you turn around, he'll be right there. Here's a little comparison to show New Game and New Game Plus. What's up everyone, hope everyone is having a good day as always. I know I'm really late to the party. This game came out already over a month ago, which is insane to think about, but I wanted to make sure I got some really good hidden details, as well as some that you may already know about. And even if you're a huge Resident Evil 4 Remake fan like me, I hope you'll learn at least one thing in this video. But without further ado, let's go. Now Capcom did really well with Ashley in the remake. I think we can all agree that her remake version is way better than her OG version. However, one really cool detail that they decided to bring back that was in the original Resident Evil 4 with Ashley was her fist bump. Essentially, every time you would shoot an enemy, Ashley would sometimes do like a little fist bump. It's sort of a funny little animation that she would have in the original, and it was basically her way of like cheering Leon on, right? Well, in the remake, they decided to bring this back, and if she's close enough to you, where you can see her right behind Leon, and you go to shoot an enemy with a pistol or whatever weapon, I mostly was able to get it with a pistol, she will do that same exact animation. She'll either cover her ears or she'll do the fist bump. Such a small detail, and I know obviously like of course she does it because it's a remake and yada yada yada, you know, of course they're gonna bring it back. But it's still really nice that they decided to actually bring it back because it really gives her character more, well, character, right? And more personality. Very small detail, but I'm glad they added it in. Now we're actually not done with Ashley, as she has two more hidden details. For the first one, this will be right after you rescue Ashley in the church. Now before you rescue her, you can actually find her phone in this corner, and Leon won't really say anything, but it'll be a file that he'll collect. If you go and rescue Ashley though, and then re-look at it, she'll actually comment that she just bought it.
Seriously? I just bought this.
Super small detail, but if you look at it and then you don't look at it with Ashley, you'll completely miss her dialogue, so I thought I'd include it in the video. Now this next dialogue is really easy to miss. Now when you get into the castle, you'll have to make your way down to the dungeons. Everybody knows this, if you play the game, yada yada yada, you'll have to kill the Garrador. Now when you're down here, you will not be with Ashley. You'll have to kill the Garrador, make your way up, and then you can actually reunite with her. However, if you decide to go back down there once you've reunited with Ashley, with her by your side, you'll hear this really funny dialogue that's super easy to miss.
Was this the animal?
No, you can't keep him.
Yeah, that's too bad.
It's amazing how Capcom literally thought of everything. But moving on to the next one, now everybody knows about the dog who you save right outside the Chief's Manor, who helps you in the El Gigante fight. He obviously helps you out and helps you kill El Gigante, since you saved his life by helping him out of the bear trap. Well, for some reason, if you go into the models in the main menu of the game and go to enemies, the dog is for some reason there even though he was never our enemy. For some reason, Capcom decided to categorize him as an enemy, which I guess would make sense since there is dog enemies in the game, but they used his skin instead of the enemy dog's skin. Pretty bizarre find, really small detail, but I wanted to add it because I just thought it was just so bizarre. Let me know what you think about it. Now moving on to the next one, when you're playing as Leon and you have Ashley by your side and you go to throw a flashbang, they'll put their hands up and there'll be that huge white flash and they'll be stunned, right? Well, this all changes if you go to the costumes in the main menu, go to accessories for both characters, and put on a pair of sunglasses. If you then try to throw a flashbang, their hands won't go up anymore because the sunglasses protect them from the white flash of the flashbang. Very small detail, and you would only really see it on a New Game Plus and if you equip those accessories specifically, but it's a nice little detail and I'm so glad Capcom added because it really adds to the experience. Now I'm sure everybody already knows this one, but it's kind of tied up with the second one, so I have to talk about it. Now when you get into the village in the very beginning of the game, this will only work on New Game Plus, but if you have a sniper, you can get up to the very top of the main house and you can see the church bell and you can shoot it with the sniper and boom, ends the village fight. I'm sure everybody already knew that because they've been talking about this since like day one, right? Well, while I was doing this in my playthrough, after I had shot the bell, I was collecting everything around the village. And there's this one house right next to the main house where you go up to the roof and you shoot the bell, yada yada yada. And for some reason, there is just this random ganado chilling in a closet. Now I know this isn't really much of a hidden detail per se, but I thought it was really funny that every single ganado is making their way to the church, and meanwhile there's this guy just hiding in the wardrobe, just literally waiting for Leon to pass him by, even going as far as letting all of his buddies leave, but he's just sitting here waiting. Very, very small detail, and honestly, if you're not paying attention, it can jump scare you really well, but I thought I would talk about it in the video. Now this next detail takes place on chapter 2. Right after you've talked to the merchant, you're going to make your way to that giant area where you need to find this emblem to progress to the chief's manor. In this giant area is a bridge, and I didn't see this in my first playthrough, but if you have a dynamite that gets thrown at this bridge, or if you shoot it with an RPG and then a dynamite gets thrown at it and it blows up on top of it, the bridge will actually collapse, and if Leon is on it, well, it's game over. This is a really, really nice detail that Capcom added because in the original Resident Evil 4, in this same exact area, no matter how many times you shoot the RPG at that bridge, it will not be destroyed. So it's really nice to see Capcom adding destructive environments into the game. And honestly, when I found this out for the first time, I just had to test it, and it's such a small detail, but I'm really glad they added it because it really adds to the realism and, well, what would happen to a bridge if it got shot at by an RPG and a dynamite. I'm sure most people might already know that detail, but if you're just like me, who found out just recently about it, well, there you go. This next detail takes place in Chapter 3. Now this will be right after you leave the Chief's Manor, and you make your way back to the village square. Now this is a very easy detail to miss, but essentially, when you're going down this path, there will be a villager on that cliff, and you'll hear some dogs howling. Now this is the part of the game where dogs will usually spawn at, right? However, if you don't shoot this villager and go right into the village square, those dogs will spawn and there will be a whole bunch of dogs coming after you. But if you instead shoot that villager that was on the cliff, the dogs will never spawn, and instead you'll just have to fight the ganados that are already there waiting for you, thus getting rid of like 3 to 4 enemies, all being dogs. Very small detail as well, but it's so easy to miss because this villager is in such a good hiding place. But I thought it was pretty interesting that if you kill this one guy, the dogs won't even spawn, despite even hearing their howling. Now this next one is pretty sad, but in Chapter 11, when you're about to get on the minecart with Lewis, he says,
Oh, by the way,
What now?
hope you like thrill rides.
now this in itself is, well, just a funny little line, nothing more, right? Well, in Chapter 16, right when Leon and Ashley are about to get on the jet ski, Leon says this.
You like thrill rides? You're gonna love this.
Which in my opinion is a sort of nod to Lewis's character and lets us know that Leon is still thinking about him and what Lewis would have said in this same exact scenario. And the final detail that I have for you all today takes place also on Chapter 16. I'm sure a lot of people already know about this, but I wanted to talk about it because I didn't know about it till recently, and it is one of the best things they added that's like a hidden detail in this game. On Chapter 16, when you're on the jet ski, you'll have these ramps that you gotta like drive over, right? Well, whenever you're driving over them, if you press X or A on Xbox and I believe F on PC, Leon will actually do a little stunt. Now this seems so random and so bizarre, but what's really nice about these is every time you do these you get 1,000 pitas, or pesetas. And believe it or not, but these jet ski tricks were also in the original, which makes this such a nice nod to the original game, because it was also pretty hidden in the original as well. In the original you had to hold both the triggers on your controller, and then move the joystick wherever you wanted it to go, left, right, do a backflip, do whatever. So it was nice to see Capcom re-add back in those jet ski tricks because it's such a small feature, and honestly, nobody will know about this on their first playthrough unless you've seen it on Twitter or wherever. But replaying the game and doing this every time is just so much fun, and I'm just so glad Capcom added in even the smallest of details, such as the jet ski tricks in Chapter 16. But that is all the details I got for you guys today. If there's any details I missed that you want me to cover in a future video, or if you guys just want to see a part 2 in general, please let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys like the video, feel free to like, subscribe, all that fun jazz. But with all that being said, hope you guys have a good rest of y'all's day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.